So for today, we will start creating the video as I mentioned yesterday. So let me share the screen first. Oops, sorry. Let me reshare the screen. I will enable the sound right now. Okay, first of all, when we creating the video, we have to make all the asset preparation first. So to make the asset preparation, sometimes we need some of additional step first to create a video. The first one is to create the storyboard and the script. The script usually come first. So the script is something that goes with the storyline. So every video have to follow this step to make a good video. So to make a video, sometimes we will create a script. A script can be like a storyline, something a narrative and descriptive to tell the story about how the story goes in that video. Or sometimes we can also make something like more point by point for something like this one. So the script in here consists from the voiceover that can be seen from the example video like before. So to start that one, I will play the video first. So this is the video that we will make this entire 2 days.
SDG implementation, the localization way to Myanmar sustainable development. The SDG's 2030 agenda, in which goals and targets, is being implemented by all countries around the world including Myanmar. SDG indicators data were produced by Myanmar Central Statistical Organization, that is the starting point of SDGs. In order to accomplish these agenda, Myanmar Sustainable Development Pillar 1, Peace and Stability. Prosperity and leadership. Pillar 3, People and Planet. There are 13 task teams to develop the national indicator by organization, leading agency.
Okay. That's the video that we will make for these 2 days. So as you can see, this is like a halfway video because I think we can just cover up this video for these 2 days. So the script in the one that I show you before, this one, is all the voiceover script for that video. So the script, usually after the script is already produced, we will continue to develop the storyboard. But for this video, we don't have the storyboard, but I will show you the example of the video, the storyboard that we make for the MTR video and for the ASEAN. So this is like the example storyboard. I will just zoom out in. I will zoom out first to see the entire screen. So more or less, the storyboard is something like this one. So there is a voiceover column. So every voiceover will go in here. And then the text that will be shown into the video, and the mock-up, this is like the design of or the preview of that scene. The mock-up note, this is all the notes that will not go into the video. This is just a note for ourselves and our team. So something like the direction or something, or maybe if we have like a stock video will be played in here, we can put it into this one. The graphic is like the direction of the graphic, so we can tell everything in here, like maybe like the logo spinning, or maybe like in this one maybe there is a text, a year will be appear, text year, or maybe, and in this column, like the direction for the visual element, this is actually something like the direction of the animation. So something like the logo will pinning, and then there will be another animation followed by them, something like that. And this is the duration. This maybe the duration will is just assumption, because when we go into the production of the video, sometimes we cannot follow this duration, because it will be flexible when we need something maybe more longer or shorter than the duration itself. So this is just an assumption, and it will be flexible based on what we go when we undergo the production itself. So yeah, after we already create the script, we already have the storyboard and have this one all finalized within our team from beginning to the end. After that, we will prepare the assets. So the assets that we will prepare is, the first one is the voiceover, because in audiovisual, especially the motion graphic, we have to go with the voice first, and then the graphic and the visual will follow along with that one. So we have to go record the voiceover if we have any. And in this case, I will show you how we can record the voiceover using the AI tools. So we don't have to hire the voiceover actor, because sometimes yeah, it will get expensive. In Indonesian rate, it goes around about 7 million rupiah, or in dollar maybe around 500 for one video. So if we have some like a budget thing, or if you want to have like more flexible, because if you hire a talent for the voiceover, if you want to have a revision in the next project, or maybe in that project you want to have a revision within like maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, you will get charged more again. It varies on the region itself, but for example, in Jakarta, if you already record the voiceover talent with the voiceover agency, if you have revision within after 1 week, you will get charged again about the same thing that you already paid for the first recording. So they just have like a revision within 1 week. So it's not very flexible and it's expensive, but the pros of it, you can get like a very custom voiceover. But nowadays, there is some solution that if you want to have like a more flexible voiceover talent, you can use this solution, the one that I will show you, the AI tools. So one of them that's still free that you can use is the voicemaker.en. I will copy the link on the chat room, so you can take a look on it. But the one that I use regularly is called the voicebooking.com. Earlier, before the voice booking is totally free to use. If you want to use you can use this one, the voiceover generator. But right now, they already monetize their business plan, so you have to subscribe it. It's not very expensive, just $5 per month if you want to use that voiceover generator. So you can go with the voiceover generator, and right now you have to, this one, $5 per month, and all the voiceover in here is very good. So you can go with that one also if you need it. But if you want to have like an alternative one that still free on the pricing in here, they still have the unlimited converts until beta. So they are still on the beta version. So when they already launch their business plan, I think it will be paid. But right now we can have free until beta. So we can see, we can turn our text into the voiceover. So for example, if we want to, I will open up the script, and this is the script. And let's just copy paste this one. Oh, so if you want to see the script first, also you want to see the script, I will upload it into the same link as before. So I will upload it first in the learning material. Oh, sorry, in this one, and the video material. I will upload the script, and I will copy the link in here. I will put it on the chat room. So this is the link for this learning the video material folder, and you can find the script.x in here. So if we want to copy paste, we will copy paste this one, the title first, and I will put it in here. Just remove any bullet point. And if you want to maybe add something in here, you want to have an emphasis or something like that, you go through this one. The voice effect, you can have a breathing, soft whisper, or if you want to have a pause, just add the pause after maybe like the SDG implementation in here. Pause around 0.5 seconds. And there is some limitation in here because we are using the free version. So for every convert, so every text to voice convert, we are limited to 250 character use in here. But this one is just one time convert. So if you already have like the other one, just replace this one and it will goes back again into 250 characters. So that's how you can create multiple voiceover. I think for one sentence in one sentence in a scene, it will not be more than 250 characters. Okay, so for this one, I will just maybe emphasis on this one. You can go select them all. Select the SDG implementation. I will repeat it again. I'll copy paste it in here. So you want to get an emphasis for the SDG implementation. So just select everything. The same thing goes in the like in the Microsoft Word. If you want to take a bold, give a bold for that one, just block on it and give an emphasis, maybe strong. So you will have like an emphasis strong wrap around the SDG implementation like this one. And you can try to speech the speed, pitch, volume, and say as. Sometimes when we go with the number, we want to say that as a date or a time or address. You can make sure in here, but usually the tools will detect is whether it is a date, whether it is a time. They will automatically detect that one. But if when you preview it, there is no, it's not be in the, as you're indicated, maybe you can go with this one. And then the next one, the next thing that you want to do is using this one, the AI engine. The default one is a standard TTS. This is using the text-to-speech AI. So the standard TTS is something that you usually heard when using the Google Maps and asking for a direction or a Google Voice, something like that. This is the standard TTS. And this is usually not very good because it will sound like a robot. But if you can use this one, the neural TTS, this one is already using the text-to-speech AI from the one that used on the Google, but it is a refined and enhanced to use in our needs in this voiceover. So I just use the neural TTS if there is something like this one. And you can choose the language and regions. There is a lot of language that you can choose. This will affecting the accent of the voiceover. So maybe for the Arabic, it will have like an Arabic accent and pronunciation, or like the other one that you can choose. I'm usually using this one, English US. So you can maybe choose this one also. And you will have something like this one. You can choose the voice on the right, on the middle column in here, like an IV, female, or this one is child. So this the voice for this one is a female child or female. So we can choose like a female or male, or if you need a child voice, you can click on this one. And there is an E in here. An E badges, some like this one is indicating this is more advanced or more, it's already refined. So sometimes the voice will looks more human than the other one. So for this one, I will choose Matthew, male, E in this one. So again, the neural TTS, and then English US and Matthew, male. But you can try another voice if you want. But for this example, I will choose this one. And if you want to see how it goes, just click on the convert to speech. When you click on this one, it will generate it. Okay, error converting your text. Please check the text or setting in the text. Or maybe this emphasis. I will just delete it first.
SDG implementation, the localization way to Myanmar sustainable development.
So it will preview in here. Yeah, this one is, if you want, there is a question about the terms and condition. So if you go to the pricing in here, and this one is personal and commercial use in the free version. So we can use this one. Actually, every AI voiceover right now, they have this personal and commercial use, but you have to double check it again if you want. Yeah, we can use this one to use on our video and publish it in our videos in our website. We can use it because there is a personal and commercial use in here. Okay, so when we preview this one, convert to speech, and we will preview this one, you can preview it in here. So let's see how it goes.
SDG implementation, the localization way to Myanmar sustainable development.
So that is the preview of this text. But if you need something maybe more natural, you may have to use like a stop mark or comma, something like that, to give the voiceover have a more natural and human feel, something like that. So if you make some changes in here, just click convert to speech again.
SDG implementation, the localization way to Myanmar sustainable development.
Okay, so if you already satisfied with the things that you goes in here, just click on the download MP3, or you can click download button in here, and it will be downloaded. So the downloaded files will have something like this one. So the best practice for this one is to rename the file, because when you already use that a lot, you will have this scrambled code of your voiceover download. So whenever you download the new one, just rename this one. I just renamed this one like 1, so I will know the sequence. So this one is for the scene 1, and then the next one is we want to use this one. So I just copy this one and paste it again in here. As you can see, when I paste it, this one is already, or you can clear the text. So you will have 250 characters again, and just paste it. So for this sentence, it's just used like 227 characters. So we still have 123 characters. So we still have 127 characters left. So yeah, we can use the same setting. So just make sure that you use the same setting, the neural TTS, English, Matthew Mail, and just convert to speech in here. Or if you need another setting, so for like the voice setting, you can increase the volume, you can increase the voice speed, but sometimes when you go with the neural TTS and change something in here, it will disrupt the voice sometimes, but it depends on the voice, the voices that you choose. So just play around with this one, or you can use the voice effect, like add breathing, something like this. And as you can see, there is a premium one in here. The premium one is something that you have to go with this one. This is the basic plan if you want to use the premium. So right now we will stick on the free version. So we will go with this one. And I will preview it again in here. Just convert to speech.
The SDGs 2030 agenda, in which goals and targets, is being implemented by all countries around the world, including Myanmar.
Okay, yeah, something like that. It's already the voice, the AI already detect this is like a year, so they already goes. The pronunciation is already the same thing as the year, so we don't have to goes with. We don't have to mark this one because it's already detected as a year. And the SDG in here, there are also already known on the database on the on this one, so we don't have to change anything. But I will show you. Maybe I will just download it first. Download this one because I think it's already looking good. I will download this one and I will change the name because this one is to be used on the scene 2. So I will just use 2. So for example, like my previous project with the ASEAN, sometimes when I want to use something like this, the ASEAN, this is the name of the project. So it's pronounced as ASEAN, but sometimes the AI will they don't have any database on this one, so they will just use ANZFTA. So we don't want that one. So for example, like if I just convert to speech on this one,
Ansta.
So they will just use something like this.
Ansta.
It's not pronounced any good because we have to spell it out. So I will just use like ENZF, something like we have to use the one that we hear and put it in here. So to teach them how to pronounce this one.
Inzafta.
Yeah, this one.
Inzafta.
It's already getting better, but maybe we want to add some S on this one or something like that to pronounce it better. So for some acronym, you have to use this one. Or if you want to spell it out, maybe for ENZF, again, like this one. If you want to spell it one by one, just use like this one. Put a dot around the text in here. So the AI will
AANZFTA.
will spell it out one by one.
AANZFTA.
So something like that. This is just the tips if you want to spell out the acronym, or if you want to some acronym to be pronounced in certain way. Okay, let's move on into the third script. So I will put this one and put it in here. And we will scan it first. So there is nothing wrong, I think, in here. Nothing of concern that can be spelled wrong. So just click convert to speech.
SDG indicators data were produced by Myanmar Central Statistical Organization. That is the starting point of SDGs.
Yes, it's already good. So I will just download the MP3. So the key point for this to make like a natural sound or voices is the like this one. All the marks in here should be provided, like a comma if you want to have like a half-second stop, or an apostrophe if you want to have like the belonging into the next sentence. Yeah, the next word, and the full stop. This full stop will teach the AI to show them this is so there is like a wave of sound and stopping in here. So it will make the sentence more natural. So the full stop is very important to be added. Okay, I will rename this one 3. And we will move on into the fourth one. Okay. Okay, let's scanning it first. So we have this one like this, but the AI will detect this one as a year. So I think it will be fine. And this quote will help us to emphasize a little about this one. And don't forget to have a full stop in here. And we will try to convert to speech.
In order to accomplish these agenda, Myanmar Sustainable Development Plan, 2018 to 2030, was launched by the government of Myanmar with a theme of peaceful, prosperous, and democratic Myanmar.
Okay, it's already looking good. As you can see, this one is already detected as a year. So they already detect this one also. So the voice will go with 2018 to 2030, something like that. So it's already looking good. So I will just download the MP3 and change this one as 4. Okay, the next one. Okay, maybe for this one, we will see what will, I think this will add like if you, this is the same thing if you use this one at half-second stop. If you use this these marks. So let's try convert to speech.
Pillar 1, Peace and Stability.
Okay, I think it's good, but maybe I want to put like a full stop mark in here. Let's see what is it make a difference.
Pillar 1, Peace and Stability.
Yeah, there is like a little difference, so I will just use this one. But if you want to add another pause between the pillar 1 and peace and stability, you can go with this one. So there will be a mark in here. So you convert to speech.
Pillar 1, Peace and Stability.
You will have something like that. But I think I will go without any stop in here. So I will just use this one.
Pillar 1, Peace and Stability.
Okay, let's download it. And this is the scene 5A to be exact, because scene 5 consists of three child scenes. So I will use this one as 5A. Can we choose the okay, and add the full stop mark.
Pillar 2, Prosperity and Partnership.
Okay. And this one is 5B. Convert to speech.
Pillar 3, People and Planet.
See. And then the next one. Okay, I think there is nothing out of concern in here. Just add the full stop mark and convert to speech.
The Myanmar Sustainable Development Plan was created based on Sustainable Development Goals Framework Plan.
And then the last one. Let's scanning it first. Okay, let's just convert to speech.
There are 13 task teams to develop the national indicator framework that have been conducted with the line ministries and international organizations by Central Statistical Organization, CSO,
So
as the
as you
leading
can see
agency.
in this sample, there is no comma or something like that, but the voice is a bit dragging because there is no pause from this one until this one. So maybe we can add like a stop. So like there are 13 teams to develop the national indicator framework. Maybe we can add a pause in here, or if you want to have like a breathing, but if you use the neural TTS, there is no like this one. So I will just add a pause after this one. I will add the pause, maybe not half of the second, but you can change in here like 300 milliseconds. And then that have been conducted with the line ministries and international organization. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's try to preview it once more.
There are 13 task teams to develop the national indicator framework that have been conducted with the line ministries and international organizations by Central Statistical Organization, CSO, as the leading agency.
Yeah, looks better. So I will just download this one. And now we already have all the voiceover needed. So I will just create the new folder in here. And this one is the workshop file. And I will create the VO and I will put all the VO on that set folder in here. Or if you want to download all the things in here, just go into the link, the video material link, and go to the VO folder. There is everything that you need, the same thing like this one. So now we already have the voiceover recorded. This is one of the assets needed. So we need the other one. That is the all the image. Before we go to the After Effects, we need to go into all the image that can be used to creating the video. So if you haven't downloaded yet, you can go with the Adobe Illustrator file in here. And I already make everything to be this one, the scene 1 until scene 7. This is the file that can be imported into the After Effects directly. But if you want to learn how to how to prepare all the assets, you can go with this one, the scene full AI. This one can be opened using the Adobe Illustrator. So you can, if you open the scene full AI, it will open something like this. So in this AI, it's usually something that, yeah, we just create all the preview for each scene, and later we will put it into the storyboard. And right now we will create this one. We will create each of this scene to be prepared to be put into the Adobe After Effects. We cannot use this one right now. We have to prepare it first. So if you already open the file, the AI file, you will get something like this. There is a preview for, and this is the scene 6, and this is scene 7. Okay. So the goals for this preparing this one is to goes to with a different animation in after we already have the separate layer, we can animate it one by one. So the scene one, the preview is something like this. So if we go
Mas Dharma,
to the
Mas Dharma, oh, you're breaking up.
sorry,
You're breaking up. Your voice is
sorry.
breaking up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it still breaking out right now?
No, it's better now. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. I think my internet is rather unstable right now. So if you encounter something, you cannot hear my voice very clearly. Thank you for the notification. So yeah, I will try to repeat it again. So you can download from the video material and go to the Adobe Illustrator file in here. And in here, you will find the scene full.ai. You can download this one and open it in Adobe Illustrator. You will have something like this. You will have all the scene on one file. And we cannot use this one on the After Effects because it all in one layer and it have a multiple artboard. So for the After Effects, we just need to have one artboard per scene. So we just have one artboard, and for every element that want to be animated separately, we will have to change this. We have to put all the things that animated separately into a separate layer. So right now, we will try to separate this scene one into a separate layer. So before we dig into the this scene one, let's see what the preview of the video itself, what should be separated or animated.
SDG implementation, the localization way to Myanmar sustainable development.
Okay, that is the scene one. So at first there is, as you can see, there is the world map animated, and the world map itself is revolving around the globe itself. So all the maps is revolving, and it's get bigger, scaled, and goes to the left side, and then the Sustainable Development Goals logo will be animated from top and the bottom. So we will have to separate the Sustainable Development text in here and the goals itself. So we will have to separate it. And there is an animation of this text. And after that, it will be the text will be fading out, and the globe, the world map, will be zoom in. So that is the scene one animation. Okay, so right now, if we want to make the effects of the world map revolving the globe itself, we need to create a new one. In Illustrator, go to File, New, and we will use this this dimension, the 1920 pixels by 180 pixels. This is 1080p. This is full HD resolution, so we can just use this one and choose this one as a pixel. and make sure the color mode is RGB. And we can leave everything as it is. So click create. We will create a new one in here. So to determine what can be put in here is actually there is just 3 things that we want to put in this one. The first one is the Sustainable Development Goals. So we can copy this one. Copy that one with Control C or Command C, or you can go with to the edit and then copy in here. Go to the new artboard and paste it, something like that. And we want to separate this one. So as you can see, this logo is taken from the SDG website. So if you go to the SDG logo in here, you can get the SDG logo in the communication material from the United Nations, and you will have the EPS. So the EPS is the factor logo, something like this, and it will be grouped like this. So to ungroup it, you can right click on it and click ungroup, or for the shortcut you can go Command Shift G. So right now we will have like this one, Sustainable Development and Goals. So before in our video, we just separate this one, the Sustainable Developments and the goals. So we can group this one again, Sustainable Developments. We can group it, like right click on it and group. And the goals is already grouped, so it's good. So we now already have 2 objects, the Sustainable Developments and goals. But we need to separate it into a different layer. So you can go on the right side. Usually you will have something like this, layers. Or if you don't have layers coming out from this one, you can go to the window and then click on the layers in here. Or you can click the F7 for the shortcut. And you will have something like this. Okay, to separate the things into the layer, the first thing that you need to do is select this one first. And then you can go to the edit and cut. We will cut this one first, or you can use the shortcut Command X or Control X on Windows. And then on the layers panel in here, there is a plus button to create a new layer. Just click on the create new layer. It will create a new layer on top of the previous one. And we want to put the one that we cut before into this new layer. So make sure the new layer is selected like this one. It will be highlighted on the blue color. And then on the edit, you can go with the paste in front, not use the paste, but paste in front. Paste in front will paste it on the same place as when you cut it. Or when you use paste, it will be pasted into the center of the screen. So just use paste in front. So right now we will have this one. As you can see, this layer 2 is indicated by the red color, and the layer 1 is indicated by blue color. This means when you click something on the layer 2, the bounding box or the box or surrounding the surrounding this one will have this same color or the red color. And for this layer 1, when you click it, it will surrounding the elements or the object using the same color. So you can detect whether it's already on different layer or not. Okay, so right now we already have this one and this one. Okay, so right now we go back into the scene, the full scene again. And right now we want to extract the map in here. So click on this one, click on the map in here, click, and then copy again, and paste it again in here. Okay, so this is quite advanced. So for this one, we just need to extract the map image from this one. As you can see, the shadow in here, we will create it in the After Effects itself. And the globe itself, the circle thing in here, we will create it also in the After Effects. So right now, we just right click on it, click on that one, and release clipping mask. Because I'm using the clipping mask in here to create the masking. And you will get something like this one. There is, if you select and drag it in here, you will have like this box. This is the box that for clipping or masking the globe earlier. We don't need it right anymore. So just select this one. Just select this one, not entire globe, and click delete. And right now we want to extract the this one. This one is also used. I'm using the clipping mask. So click on the globe, right click on it, and release clipping mask. So it the map will be extracted like this one. And try to select the globe or the circle in here. Just the circle, and we don't need it because we will create it again in the After Effects. So we will just delete this one. Click on it and delete. So right now, so to navigate in Adobe Illustrator, you can use space, hold down the space, and you will have this hand. Click and drag to have a pen. So, and if you want to zoom in or zoom out the preview, just using the control or command with minus and or plus like this. It will zoom in and zoom out your preview. Okay, now we want to put the map in here into and we want to fit it into the artboard. So click on that one, and then on the edge side, you can choose whenever, yeah, any edge on this one. I will use this one. Click and drag it to make it smaller, and hold down the shift. If you hold down the shift, it will make the scaling in a proportional way, and just put it into this one. So the aim for this one is just to make everything or all the maps in here to fit into the artboard. You don't have to be exact for this one. Just make sure the map or everything visible within the artboard. Okay, so right now the map is still on the layer 2. If you click on the map, it will highlighting the layer 2 in here. So we want to separate it again. So right click on it or select the map and then click edit and cut it, or Control X or Command X, and we will create create a new layer. So right now we have layer 3 with green right now, and go into the edit and paste in front. So right now we will have something like this. It's okay if you have some overlapping like this one, or if you want to make the maps into on the bottom layer, just click on the layer 3 in here, click and drag it, hold the click and drag, hold it and place it in the bottom, so it will be on the bottom layer. And in here, if you try to select something in here, there is a circle also. This is the circle that goes for the clipping mask before. So try to select this circle and click delete. Because if we don't delete that one, it will affecting the layer for the sustainable development before, because we paste it in here. Okay, so we will have these 3 layers. Layer first, the layer 1 will have this one, the sustainable development. Layer 2 will have these goals. Layer 3 is these maps. So we will just have these 3 layers to animate the scene 1. Okay, so make sure that you already separated in the set layer like this, and we will go to the file and save as. Okay, in here, and I will go to the workshop file, and in here I will create a new folder. Usually I will name it scene, but you can name it anything else that you want. Like scene, and I will name it this one scene 1, and we will save it. Okay, now we already have the scene 1. Or if you want to have it already done, again in the Adobe Illustrator file in here, you can download the scene1.ai. This is the same thing as this one. So yeah, you can download the material in here, or you can create it yourself. Okay, that is the scene 1. Maybe you are wondering why we don't use this, the text, we don't put it on that one. So every text that something like this, it should be generated or created in the tools itself. So we can create this one in the After Effects later on. So every text in here will be created in the After Effects. So we don't have to prepare it for the asset preparation. Okay, so right now for the second one, or for the second scene, we will create a new one again. So click File, New, and make sure that it's 1920 by 1080 px, and in RGB color, and click Create. Okay, so right now for this one, we will just copy paste it in here. We will copy and paste it into this one. Sorry, click copy and use the edit and paste in front. So all the position will be the same in here. Okay, for this one, again, for the text, we don't need it to be put in this AI file. So we will just click this one and delete this one. And for the maps, for the maps, actually we can use the maps from the scene one after this one for this one. So we don't need these maps actually, but we need the Myanmar map in here. So right click on it and release the clipping mask. And we will just delete the big one in here. Or if you later on, because we will have to make sure the placement, if you don't too confident with that one, just right click on it and release the clipping mask. And we will make sure everything in here. Just click on this one and scale it down a little bit like this, and just rearrange this one, because in the scene 2, let's see the preview.
SDG implementation, the localization way to Myanmar sustainable development. The SDGs 2030 agenda, in which goals and targets, is being implemented by all countries around the world, including Myanmar.
As you can see, for this scene 2, when it's already zoom in and fade out, it will reveal the scene 2. The maps itself will have like moving slowly to the right side, and then we will have to put the Myanmar map, highlighting it on that one. So we just need a little bit of the maps, not entire map like this one. So just make sure that when we animating it from this one, from this point to this point, it's all cover up. So I will just use this more or less something like this. So you can follow this along, and don't forget there is a square in here. This is for the clipping mask that I used earlier. So try to select this one, not select the big maps, but just select the square one in here, the rectangle, and just delete it. So right now we have these maps and these little maps in here. Okay, something like that. And we want to, if you follow me as before, you will see this one is on top of the little this Myanmar map. So the thing is, you want this one to be put below the Myanmar map. So click on the big map and right click on it, and then go to arrange and send to back. So it will be put on the most bottom of the hierarchy. So send to back. So right now you can click the this map. So right now we want to separate this one, because we want to, each of the icons we want to animate it separately. So this is like the best practice, because in the After Effects, the timeline, it will be on the sequence, and usually to make our life easier is to make the one in the back, or the one that have the first sequence will be on the bottom, and the last sequence of the animation, this icon, will be on the top. So to make our life easier, we want to separate this one from the bottom itself. So this one, this layer will be on the top. So this is just a tips and trick, actually. So for this one, we will start by using the 17, the number 17, because this one will be animated last. We can go with this one and then click cut, add a new layer and edit paste in front. Okay, so right now this one will call layer 2 and it will be on top of it. And when we click on the number 16, again, edit, cut, or the Control X or Command X, add the new layer, create a new layer, and you can go with the paste in front or Control F or Command F. After this, I will use the shortcut one. So you will have something like this. So the number 17, or the one that the last one that will be animated, will still remain on top, and the one before that will below that layer. So same thing with this one, cut, create new layer, and paste in front. The same thing again, cut, paste in front, cut, create new layer, paste in front, cut, paste in front, and we will do it for the rest of the icon. Don't forget to create the new layer. Okay, do this until we already separate every icons into a separate layer. So we will have, if you follow the step that I already given, right now you will have like layer 18 for the number 1 in here. Number 2 is layer 17, layer 3, 4. You can check it by click on it and check the layer panel, something like that. So the number 17 will be still on the top like this. And now we want to separate these big maps and the small maps also. So because we already have like the initial layer, this is layer 1 that will contain the big layer in here. We want to separate this one because we want to animate it differently with this one. So again, cut it, create the new layer, and paste in front. So right now we will have total of 20 layers, and the biggest number is layer 19 in here. Oh, sorry, we will have like 19 layers, something like that. Okay, you don't have to worry about this one going outside of the artboard. So the artboard will just save everything within the artboard itself. So everything that outside the artboard like this will not be seen in the After Effects, but we doesn't need it, so it doesn't have, we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so after you already finish separating everything in the layer, just go File and Save As. And we will name it this one Scene 2. Save. Okay. Okay, we can close this one after already finished saving it. Okay, right now we will move on into the scene 3. So let's see how the animation in scene 3.
Including Myanmar. SDG indicators data were produced by Myanmar Central Statistical Organization. That is the starting point of SDGs. In order to accomplish.
Okay, so we will have something zoom in like this. So we will have the background first, or the floor, and then the logo of Myanmar CSO, and then the animation of each book or each publication reveal, and the animation of the text itself. Okay, for this one, we are using the same thing. So click on the file, new, make sure you are in the correct dimension, click create, and just copy paste, select all in here, and at first just click on this one. As you can see, the artboard is already highlighting with the black color or the black line. So this is very important. Click on the artboard first until it gets selected, and then select everything. Copy it, hit Command C or Control C, and in here just go with the paste in front. Okay, right now you will have something like this. Again, the text in here, we don't need it, so we just delete this one. As you can see, there is an animation going on right here from the books itself. It scale up from nothing to 100%, and there is also the shadow in here. And as you can see, the shadow is the same within these two books, so we just need one of them. Later on, we will copy it again in the After Effects after we already animate it to make it more efficient. So we just need one shadow and the book itself, and we want to separate this one. So I will start with this book first. So cut it, create a new layer, and paste in front. Again, the same thing with this one. Cut, create new layer, paste in front. And also for this shadow, cut, paste in front. Actually, you can rename this layer if you want. Maybe like this one is called shadow. But this is optional. If you want it to make it more easier for you for later on, you want to rename it, you can rename it in here. Just double click on it, you can rename this one. And also for the Myanmar CSO logo, cut it, create new layer, and paste in front. And for this one, the background, because it's already have the initial layer, so we will leave that one as it is. Okay, so right now we're already separating it. We will go to the Save As, and we will name it Scene 3. Click Save, click Continue. Okay, so right now we already have the Scene 3. We can close that one. We will move into the Scene 4. We will see the Scene 4 first.
Our Central Statistical Organization, that is the starting point of SDGs. In order to accomplish these agenda, Myanmar Sustainable Development Plan, 2018 to 2030, was launched by the government of Myanmar with a theme of peaceful, prosperous, and democratic Myanmar.
Okay, in this animation, Actually, we are using the 3D camera. As you can see, there is zoom in until this one. This is using the 3D camera. This is created in After Effects, so we don't have to worry right now. So for this one, there is a zoom in into this one, and this one. So for this scene, actually we just need to copy paste these icons because we will reuse the floor. So we just need this 3 icons and the shadow. Just copy, click new one. We will create a new one and click create and edit, paste in front. Again, the same thing as before. We don't need, we just need one of this shadow because this is look the same. So we'll just animate this one and we will copy paste it to the other one. So we just need this one. And as you can see in the animation in here, the first thing that appear is the circle. After the circle, there is an animated icon and then the text. So we have to separate everything in here. Again, the text in here, peaceful, prosperous, and democratic, we will create it in the After Effects. So we don't need it right now. Just click delete on it. So we have to separate this one and the circle. So I will just begin with this one. So I will click on this one. As you can see, if you want to animating something like this, so animating like the line itself, and in After Effects, you have to make it on the vector file. So you have to make it also in the, for example, like in the Adobe Illustrator, using the line like this, like the stroke, not using creating something that already an icon. So you have to create it like a line in here. So in After Effects, they will read the line and they can animate it one by one. So for this one, for example, this example, I'm using this icon by creating like a stroke with the stroke. Okay. In this one, I will cut it, create new layer and paste in front. The same thing with the circle. And again, for this one, just make sure you already create the new layer, cut it, create new layer and paste in front, click again, cut, create new layer, paste in front. And also the same thing with this one. Oh, sorry, this one is not necessary because we already have the initial layer 1 in here. So it already separated with the other object. Okay, so right now we will save this one as scene 4. Okay, now it's already have a scene 4. Now we will create this one, this one, pillar 1, pillar 2, and pillar 3. Okay, so for this one, let's see the animation first.
Pillar 1, Peace and Stability. Pillar 2, Prosperity and Partnership. Pillar 3, People and Planet.
Okay, as you can see, In this one, in this example, the icon is just scale up from nothing to become to its original point. So we don't need to, it's not the same thing as this one. So what can we do with this one is just copy everything and create the new layer. Sorry, create a new file and paste in front. Again, for the text, we don't need it. So we can delete this one. And we just separate everything in here. So for this icon, cut, paste in front. And for this one, because I already group it in here, and we will animate it in the same animation. So we will just cut and paste in front. And for this one, also cut and paste in front. So we will just have 4 layers. The background for it will be on the layer 1 or in the initial layer before. And we will save this one like scene 5A. Okay. Again, for the pillar 2, click on the artboard first. And then copy everything, create new file, and paste in front. Again, for the text, just delete that one. And we will separate this one. Put it on the new layer. Again, like this. And then just save this one. And I will name it scene 5B. Okay. Again, for this one, click on the artboard first. Select everything, copy it, create a new file, and paste it in front. Delete the text and separate every icon into a new layer. Okay, and then save it. This time we will name it scene 5C. Click save, click OK. And then close it. Okay, we already finished the scene 5. So right now we will go to the scene 6. Okay, let's see how the animation goes.
Pillar 1, Peace. Pillar 3, People and Planet. The Myanmar Sustainable Development Plan is created based on Sustainable Development Goals Framework Plan.
Okay, the animation for this one is rather simple. It just zoom in, and then there is SDG and MSDP text appear with the line, and then each icon, and the value for each of the SDG or the MSDP, something like that. So for this one, we will just, again, click on the artboard first, and save it, copy, and then create the new file, and then edit, paste in front. Again, for this one, actually we can use the maps from before, but we will just use the map from here. So right click on it and release clipping mask. And just make sure that the maps is within the artboard. And don't forget to select the masking that I create before. You can select like this one and just click delete. So there is no masking in there. Again, for the text, we don't need it. So every text, we can delete it. So the one that we want to separate is something like this. Because I haven't grouped it yet, so we have to group it right now. Okay, so for this one and this one, it should be on the same group to make our life easier. So just click this one and click this one, right click on it, group. The same thing with the icon before. Click this one and this one, right click on it and group. And this one, you have to select everything. So just click on this one, this one, this one, and this one, and right click on it and group it. Also for this one, maybe you want to zoom in a little. Just select this one, this one, this one, and this one. Right click on it and group it. Okay, so right now, after we already group it like this one, it's already grouped, it's already grouped. This one and this one is already grouped. We want to separate this one. Separate the layer. So I will use this one first. Cut, create new layer, paste in front. Cut, create new layer, paste in front. Same thing with the other icon. And also this line, we have to separate it like this. And the maps will be on the layer one. So it's already separated with the other elements. So yeah, we already have something like this. So we can go to the file and save as. And name it. This one is scene 6. And save it. Okay, so now we already have the scene 6 prepared. Just one more. So we can click on this one and copy everything. Create a new file and paste it in front. So for this one, let's see what the animation will be.
There are 13 task teams to develop the national indicator framework that have been conducted with aligned ministries and international organizations by Central Statistical Organization, CSO, as the leading agency.
Okay, as you can see, the animation is quite simple for this one. There is just a background of image that there, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is 5 images. So it's just scale up slowly, and it will be swept around. So for this one, we don't need the images to be inserted into the Adobe the Illustrator file. So we will delete the background. We don't need it. But before that, maybe you want to delete the text first because we don't need the text. Text will be created in the After Effects later on. So just delete that one. And we can delete the image also because we will add it later. And I already grouped this one before. Everything is already grouped. So yeah, again, the same thing with the SDG icon before. So the one that that will be the last to be animated, we will put it on the top. So we will start from this icon. So just cut, paste in front, and do the same with the other one. So if you encounter something like this, because this is not group but yet, so just select everything, right click on it and group. After that, cut it, paste in front, okay. So for this one, if you follow my step, you will have like layer 13. So you will have 13 layers for every things in here. Something like that. Okay. And then we will save that, save this one. And we will name it scene 7. Okay, click save on it, click OK. Okay, right now we can close this one, but the one that you already download before, the full scene full.ai, don't close it yet because we want to copy paste everything in here, the text. So just leave it open. So right now, if you already follow along, you will have something like this. We already have all the voiceover recorded from the scene 1 to scene 7. And also for in the scene folder, we will have like all the AI scene 1 to scene 7. It's that already separated. All the object is already separated in layers. Or if you want to have something like this, you can just download this Adobe Illustrator file and just download the scene 1 and to scene 7 in here. You will have the same thing as before. Okay, right now we will start going to make things in After Effects. So because the After Effects is using a lot of the memory of your RAM, so if you have anything open that not necessarily have to open in this one, just close it. So for my case, this script, I think I don't need it anymore. So I will just close that one. And also for this preview, I think I still need it. Okay, so right now we can open up the Adobe After Effects. So before we continue on to creating the Adobe After Effects, there is one plugin that I want to show you. So you can just go with this one. This plugin is a free one, but there is a premium one. I'm using the premium one, but the one that I will show you when creating this video, I will just use the free one. So you can go to the Mr. Horse in here. Just search for the Mr. Horse in the Google. And you will go with this one, mrhorse.com. Click on that one. And the plugin that we will use is called the Animation Composer. So the Animation Composer is the tools to help you to create a professional animation for your animation. Yeah, something like this. The first one is the motion preset. So if you have some like an object or like an icon you want to like refill, have like refill animation, refill in or refill out, something like that, you can use this one. It's just one click away. But in the free version, there is just limited things. We don't use this one because if you want to use the one that have a good animation, you will have to buy this one. I think this is a very good investment because you just buy for one time, and then it will make your life easier when to animating something in the After Effects. You just click on that one, it's already animated, and the animated one is the animation is already looking good and looking very professional. There is the motion blur, if there is a velocity on it, it's already have a good animation. But the one that we will use for this one, because this one is free, that is the text preset, or you can buy everything. Later on I will show you what the things that if you buy this one or the free one, the freebies. And there is like the transition for After Effects if you want to have an additional, but I just use this one. I'm just using the motion preset and the text preset in here. But again, if you want to invest something for later use, maybe you can choose with the other one. But in here, we will just go with the animation composer. So if you go to the mrhorse.com, I will copy paste this link into the chat room. And then on top of it, you will have learn more and download. Just click on this one. And you can download it for Mac or for Windows. Just click on this one and it will be downloaded, the free version of it. It will be like an installer. So just double click the one that you already download. After this one, just click next, next, next until it's finished. And after that, just after you already finish it, download it and installing this one, just open the After Effects. Okay, if you already finished downloading it and installing, successfully install that one, you can go into the window and you will find this one, Animation Composer 3. Just click on that one. I already put it in here, but the default one, it will be floating. So let me, unlock the panel. So it will be floating like this one. And you can start using that one. This is the motion preset, starter preset, and everything in here like this. And if you already have the subscription, you can log in into this one. I think the first thing that you are when you open this one, you have to log in. So again, in the Mr. Horse in here, just create a new account. Just click login and create a new account. So whenever after you already open this one and have to log in, you can use that login to log in into this one. And after you already log in, you will have something like this. And for me, I'm usually going this and put it into this one. So just click on the animation composer and just put it in here. I usually put it in here. So there is a project, effect controls, and animation composer 3. Okay, that is the preliminary things that you have to do before starting the After Effects. So just go to the mrhorse.com, download it, and installing the free version and create the account. And after you already installing that one, go to the window and animation composer until you have something like this. Later on, I will explain to you how to use this one. Okay. So after you already setting up your animation composer, the thing is right now we will have to import the scene that we already created before in Adobe Illustrator into this project. So in the After Effects, make sure that you already opened up the project in here. You can double click on this one on the project bin in here. Just double click it or right click on it and click import. But I usually prefer just double click it. When you double click on this one, you can navigate into the your folder. So my folder is in here, motion graphic workshop, and then in the workshop file and go to the scene in here. So we will just import this one by one. Right now, I want to import the scene1.ai. So click on this one, but don't click open yet. Click on this one. And then from the import as, if you import this one as a footage, so every layer that you already separated in here will be merged into one layer and it will be one image. So we don't want that. We want to import as using this one, the composition retain layer sizes. If you just choose the composition, it will be separated into a layer, but every layer will have the sizes of that layer is the sizes of the composition itself. So if you just maybe like having this one, the sizes is just this, like this. If you just choose the composition, the sizes of this layer will be on the same thing with the artboard itself. That is the full HD resolution. So we don't want that either. So we want to use the composition and retain layer sizes. So every size and every layer will be the same as the one that we created in the Adobe Illustrator before. So make sure that you choose this one, the composition, retain layer sizes. It will get back into the footage every time you import. So you have to make sure that you already import as this one as a composition and retain layer sizes every time you import something. And then don't forget, also check this one, the create composition, if it unchecked. So the one that you have to put in mind whenever you want to import is import as composition, retain layer sizes, and also check the create composition. Okay, and click open. Right now, after we already import, we will have this scene 1 and scene 1 layers. This is like layers that we already created in the Illustrator before. We already create this layer. So this layer 1 is for the sustainable development. Layer 2 is for the goals. Layer 3 for the scene1.ai. This one, the maps. But we don't want to open up the layer itself one by one. Because we already create the composition, so everything that we already create in the After Effects, it's already separated and in the same sizes in this one. This is the icon for the composition. So just double click this scene 1 and it will open the scene 1 into the timeline panel below in here. So as you can see, there is layer 2, layer 1, layer 3. This is the same layer as we created in the Illustrator before. And the sizes for layer 2, that is the the same sizes as before. So whatever that we make in the Illustrator will retain in here. And as you can see, the background is black because this is the default background color in the composition in After Effects. So to change this one, you can go to the composition and go to the composition setting, or using the shortcut Command K or Control K. Click on that one. And right now, the width and the height will be the same thing that we created in the Illustrator before. 1920 by 1080 pixels. And we can leave this one as it is. And the frame rate is 30 frames per second. So again, this is from the first workshop, but I will explain it to you again. So for 1 second animation, it actually consists of a frame that move one by one, that creating the animation. The thing is, when you see the documentary, maybe in the Disney animation, where you see like a Mickey, the animation of the Mickey, when they want to create an animation, they created one by one in piece of paper. So when it moves and it swap between each paper, it will create a movement. This is the same thing with the frame rate. So the frame rate is 30 frames per second. It means when creating one second animation, it consists of 30 still image. So 30 still image that move one by one to create a 30 frame per second, 1 second animation. So if we, the standard use for the video is 30 frames per second. But right now, when you go to the YouTube, you will see like there is 60 FPS, or maybe when you go open up something in your mobile phone, right now when you're recording, you will have setting for 60 frames per second. So 60 frames per second will have like more condensed animation in 1 second. So it will have 60 frames. So the movement will be crispier and will be clearer rather than the 30 frames per second. But right now we will just use 30 frames per second. But if you want to create a very crystal clear video, maybe you want to use 60 frames per second, but it will affecting the file sizes of the video itself later on. When you rendering it, it will have a bigger file size. So we will stick with the 30 frames per second. The resolution, yeah, this one is for previewing only. We will use this one because After Effects is using a lot of RAM memory. So we will use this one. And this one is the start code. Start time code is from the 0. So we want to have each composition will start from the 0. And the duration is 30 seconds. So we will, how to read this one is, this is the two numbers on the back. This is the millisecond, followed by the seconds, and this is minutes, and this one is hour. So hour, minutes, seconds. Sorry, this one is not millisecond, but this one is a frame. So if we have 30 frame, so after this one goes 30, the maximum 30, it will goes into 0 again, and it will add 1 in the second in here. So this one is frame, second, minutes, and hour. So for right now, we have 30 seconds duration. I think this is good. So I will leave this one as it is. And the one you want to change maybe is this background color. So background color, we want to change it into white. But put in mind, this background color for every composition is a blank one. So if you go to the composition setting and change this background color, actually we don't add a background on it. It's still a blank one. I will explain it to you later why it's a blank one when we already compositing everything into a final composition. But right now, we can change this background color into a white one if you want it like this, and click OK. Okay, so yeah, this is the setting up. We already have this setup like this. So the first animation that we want to create is this earth animation. As you can see, this is the earth. Sometimes it's revolving, somewhat, it's somewhat revolving the globe. So it will revolve around the globe, something like that. It's actually something that we manipulate to create something like this. So to create this one, we will pre-compose this one first. So select the layer 3 in here, or the map layer. You will see the map layer like this, and we will right click on it, and we will go pre-compose it. Pre-compose is mean whatever that we choose we select in here will be separated into another composition. So that is the pre-compose. So click on this one, pre-compose, and we will name this composition like the world map or anything else. This one is just for renaming only. And this one, leave all attribute in scene 1 and move all attribute into the new composition. We want to use this one, move all attributes into new composition. So the layer 3 will be moved into the new composition. And then click open the new composition. Check on this one and check adjust composition duration to the time span of the selected layer. This means when we pre-compose something and we already have an animation in this one, it will maintain the duration of the animation. But because we don't have any animation yet, it doesn't matter if we click on this one or not. Okay, click OK after you already have something like this. So right now, as you can see, the layer 3 is no longer in the scene 1 composition. It will move into the world map composition in here. The layer 3 is already in here. So right now, actually, the things that for this world map is actually we are manipulating something. As you can see, the world map is somewhat revolving, but this one, actually, we are just creating a world map that just moves from one point to the next point, something like that. So in this one, we want to create this doubling the sizes of this composition. So in the world map composition in here, go to the composition and go to the composition setting. And right now, we want to have the width to become 2 times the one from here. You can use the calculator by using the 90/20 by times 2 equal I think about 3,960 but you can use some math in here. So because we just want to make this 2 times for the width, and make sure the log aspect ratio is unchecked. So make sure if it's checked like this one, uncheck this one first, because if you check this one, when you change the width, it will change the height also. We don't want it, so uncheck the log aspect ratio. So in the width, we go into this one and just use the calculation from this one, just times 2, and then click anywhere else. Right now, it's already it's already calculated by 2 times of the state width before, and click OK. So right now we already have this composition, or the artboard for this composition, to become 2 times larger. The next thing that we want to do is we want to put this one right here, more or less. You don't have to be exact, but just make sure that this is the middle. This is the middle middle composition, and we put it on the left side. The world map is on the left side on this one. Okay, so right now we want to have 2 world map. That is from this one, and the other one is here. So to make them like that, go to the layer 3. You can copy this one, edit, copy, and edit, paste, something like that. So you will have layer 4 with the same thing. Or for the shortcut, you can go with you select the layer 3 in here, and you choose with the Command D or Control D, or in here you can go duplicate. When you duplicate it, it will duplicate it into a new layer. So you will have layer 4 with the same thing. You goes in here. Just rearrange that both of them, that it visible in the same layer, in this within the composition, more or less something like this. Okay, so right now we already have this 2 world map arranged something like that. Later on, we will move this one to become something like this, but that is for later, because right now it's already 10:59. Miss Reka, are we gonna take a break first?
Oh, sorry. Yes, we can have 10-minute break. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
10-minute break, everyone. We meet again in next 10 minutes.
Okay, see you.
Okay, welcome again. Mr. Dharma, you can continue.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Reka. Okay, everyone, let's continue. I will share my screen. Okay, so before we already make the composition 2 times wider and put the 2 maps on the left side and the right side. And the next thing that we want is we want to animating these 2 maps to move from their original position into this kind of position. So they just move one time on the left side. Or if you want to make it, the globe is moved counterclockwise, you can move it to this one. So it's depend on what the animation that you want. Is it counterclockwise or clockwise? But for my case, I will put it in the clockwise. So the next thing that we want to do is creating the animation. So this is how you create the animation in the After Effects, is to create the keyframe. So select both of them. This is an important step. We have to select both of them. And as you can see in the timeline panel in here, you can slide this slider. This is to make sure to select which frame that you want to put the keyframe or the animation is. As you can see, there is a time ruler in here that is 0 second, 0 2 seconds, 0 4 seconds. This is indicating the timeline or the timer in the After Effects. And if you want to make this one on the matter of second, just use this one. This one is to scale the timer. So as you can see, right now we can see 0 second, 0 1 seconds, 0 2 seconds. This is the duration of that timeline. And if you try to zoom in again, as you can see, this is 15F. This is called for 15 frame. So as I already mentioned before, 1 second is for 30 frames. So yeah, this is consists of 30 frames. So if I make this one into the smallest size, as you can see right now, the timer is 1 frame, 2 frame, 3 frame until you have 30 frame. That is equal 1 second. So that is the basic controls or the basic duration in After Effects. So yeah, you can use this one, or if you prefer to see it on the 1 second, just use this one, this handler, to zoom in or zoom out the duration. Okay, so right now we want to animate the position. So we have to open up the transform in here for position. So to open the position for each layer, we hit on the keyboard P for position. So the position will open up in the bottom of each layer. So this means this layer 4, the position, if you want to control the position, you are controlling these numbers. And for layer 3, the position is this number. But we don't go with the numbers, we just click on this one. And to add a keyframe, you click on this one, but make sure that you already select both of them. The both layer is selected. If not selected, just select both layer like this with using the Command or Control hold down, or you can use the Shift also, Shift or Command or Control hold down to select multiple layer like this. So we want to make the animation start from the 0 point. So while this one is two of them is already selected like this, click on the stopwatch icon in here. When you click on this one, you will create a keyframe like this. So the basic animation, the animation is created between the changes from one keyframe to another keyframe. That is the basic of the animation. So the requirement for you to create an animation, if you have two keyframes and that two keyframes is have a different value. So right now we just create one keyframe, and when we slide this time indicator, we just slide it. As you can see, the value of in here, there is nothing changes. There is nothing changes on that position value. So to make this one have an animation, we make the keyframe first. So the keyframe in the 0 seconds at the beginning, and the next thing is we change the time indicator. Maybe I want to change. I want to have like 4 seconds duration of the animation like this. And you can go with this one. You can slide it into to change this one, but I will just use the one in this preview. So I want to put the position from while selected, yeah, to layers is selected like this. Just click on this one, and I want to position the right maps into the position of the left maps, more or less. You don't have to be exact, just more or less like this. Okay, so now we already have an animation. The animation from the first keyframe to the second keyframe like this. So the animation is somewhat like this. Okay, so later on, we will just masking everything. We will not using everything that as white as this one. We will just masking around here in the middle or in this one. So later on, you will have something like this. So we need a looping movement from these two world map. To create the looping movement, you position your mouse into the stopwatch like this in the position and hold down the Alt keyboard and click on this stopwatch icon until you will open the expression field like this. And what you want to type in this one is click on type in loop out like this. Click on this loop out. This means double click it, and then you can click anywhere else like that. The same thing with the position for the layer 3. So position your mouse on top of the mouse, the stopwatch icon, hold the Alt, click on it, and then change everything, the transform.position in here to become loop out. Just type in loop, and you will have this suggestion for loop out. Click on that one, double click it, and click anywhere else. Now, if you click on the loop out, the animation will be repeating automatically. As you can see, when I just refill this one, it will use that one. Maybe for preview, I will just shorten the animation like this. So to preview this one, just click on the space bar in your keyboard. As you can see, this is because I shortened the animation, so the animation is very fast, but it's looping all around. It's looping the animation from here to here, and it will looping again like this, somewhat like this. Right now, if I want to make it longer, just select the second keyframe and make it longer. Maybe around here. And you can just preview it. Let's just see if the speed is already correct or not. If you require it to become slower, just extend this one, maybe about 8 seconds. So it will move slowly like this. Okay, I think I will go with 8 seconds like this. So right now, the setting up for the world map is already finished. So we can go back into the scene 1 in here. So in the scene 1, as you can see, the world map composition is wider than the composition of the scene 1 because it's 2 times wider, and we don't need anything from the left side. From the right side, we just need the one that is in this left side. So it will be looping like this. So right now, the next thing that we want to do is we will create the masking. So to create the masking, we can use the rectangle tool in here, but we click and hold it until we see the ellipse tool, because we will creating the ellipse. So just click the ellipse tool in here, and don't forget to unselect everything in here. So make sure when you clicking on the ellipse tool, you are not clicking anything. So if you click something like this, just click anywhere else until you unselect everything, and then click the ellipse tool and creating the ellipse. I will create the ellipse like this one, like this. And as you can see, the original point or the anchor point in here, it's not on the center. It's very important for you if you want to, for easier controlling the object, you want this one to be on the center. So to make this one on the center, just click on this one, the pen behind or anchor point, click on this one, and hold down the command on or control in your keyboard and double click. So after you already doing that, the anchor point will be automatically on the center of the object itself, like this. Okay, and then go to the selection tool again. Yeah, this color is not necessary. If you want to change the color, change it on the fill in here. But because we are using this one as a masking, we don't care about the color from this one. And I want to put this shape layer into the center. So you can go to the align in here. Or if you don't have the align panel open, go to the window and then click align in here. It will open up somewhere around here. And then align layers to composition. So it will be based on the composition, and we want to put it on align horizontally and align vertically. So it will be on the center of the composition. Okay, the next
Hello, Mr. Dharma.
Sorry, I think I just got connected earlier. Let me share the screen again. Okay, I will just repeat it again. Sorry, I have to stop share and reshare again with share sound. Okay, I will just repeat it again from the shape layer. So before we already put the world map into the scene one. Right now we want to mess it around. So we will use the ellipse tool, but make sure that you already deselect everything in here. So deselect everything and click on the ellipse tool and create the ellipse more or less like this one. And we want to make the anchor point on the center. So click on this pen behind or anchor point tool and hold the command on control on keyboard and double click on this one to make the anchor point on the center of that circle. And then on the align layers to composition, we want to align horizontally and vertically. So the circle will be on the center of that composition. So now we want to make this shape layer, positioning it on top of the world map composition layer like this one. And you can go in here, there is a track map. And in the world map, you can go to the alpha mid shape layer. So it will select the layer on top of it to be the mask, to be the masking. So click on the alpha mid shape layer 1. So the shape layer 1 will be hidden. And as you can see in here, the world map will be masked around this one. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is we will create the drop shadow. So the drop shadow, we have to create it using the same shape layer in here. So we can duplicate edit and duplicate or Control D or Command D. Now when you duplicate it, be hidden. So click on this one and then put the shape layer 2, the one that you already just duplicated, on the bottom of the world map. Like to become white. Okay, and then in the search bar, just search for drop shadow.
I think Dharma have a problem again with the internet connection. We wait for his connection to go live again.
Hello, sorry again. I think the connection is very bad in here. I'm using the tethering right now. So hopefully there is no disrupted connection again.
Just wondering, do you use FM in your home? Are you using
IndiHome?
Oh, Income? Because I have a problem as well using FM. Okay, continue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will continue again. I will share the screen. Yeah, I will just repeat again, maybe from the drop shadow. So before we already, you can go to the effect and presets in here and then search for drop shadow. So you will have this drop shadow. Just drag and drop the drop shadow in here into the shape layer 2. Okay, now we already see a little bit of shadow in here, and you can change the effects from here. And the one that I want to change is maybe the first one is the distance, because I want to have the shadow directly at the bottom of the shape layer or the circle. And we can change the softness to make it blur enough in there, and change the opacity maybe about 10%, or if you want to make it maybe about 13 or 15. Just make it subtle, not too brightly. I will make it 15. Okay, something like that. And then on the mockup, as you can see, the globe is rather dim. So on the world map in here, we can change the opacity. So to change the opacity, we will use the T. You can use type in T on the keyboard. It will open up the opacity. So the opacity will goes from 0 to 100%. And for this one, I think this one is about 20%. So we will have something like this. And as you can see, when I play around the time indicator in here, the globe is somewhat the world map is somewhat revolving the globe like that. So yeah, this is the thing that we can try to manipulate like a revolving world map, because using the world map composition before, and we mask it on the right side like this. The next thing that you want to do is change this anchor point of the world map. To change the anchor point, you can go with the span behind anchor point. Click on this one and hold down the shift and put it on the center of the globe. So everything, when we scale it down or scale it up, and when we change everything, it will be on this origin point. This is the same thing with the shape layer. So everything, when we animating around these three object or three layer, it will be on the same point. So the animation will be the same, the movement will be the same, because we want to move them on the same on the same object or in the same position. Okay, so right now for the example development and goals. Maybe we want to hide it first. So you can hide it using this one, the eye icon. Just select that one. It will be hidden because we want to focus on the world map first. So to make the world map in here, so click on we want the first animation. The first animation is from the fading out from the opacity and scale up. And then after that, it will move to the left side. So to make that one, we select these three layers, the shape layer one, this is the masking, the world map, and the shape layer for the one in here. The first thing that we want to do is using the opacity. So we hit T on our keyboard. Okay, so right now, the first thing that we want to do is add a keyframe first. We want to add the keyframe. So to add an animation, there is two two ways. The first one is to create it in linear mode. So you create the first keyframe and then the second keyframe. But there is a trick to create the second way. The second way is the one that I use a lot, or I usually use this one. So because we already have the original one, so this one is the one that we want to aim. We add the keyframe first in here. So both of them have the keyframe, like 100% to 20% and 100%. And we move this 3 keyframe to the desired duration, maybe around this one. I want to put it on the 1 second duration. So we have this keyframe, and then in the next the keyframe before that one, we want to put it 0. So right now we have to have a 0% opacity in here, and when move up, it will have the set value for the opacity. That is the second way to create the animation or to create the keyframe. Okay, something like that. And then we want to add the scale one. So again, we select 3 of them, and we can change, we can add this option by using Shift S. S is for scale, but if you add Shift, you will, rather than just replacing this opacity with scale, we add the scale, so we still have the option for the opacity in here. So for the scale, we want to make it a bit larger, around this one. Maybe if you want to see it in here, because as you can see in this, it's a little bit larger, so it will be outside of the frame. So I will make it like 130%, and I will put it the scale in here like that. And the scale before, I want to put it maybe around 50. So right now, we have the animation of scaling up and the opacity playing together like that. And if you want to preview it, just hit space and you will preview that one. For the first preview, because it's rendering each frame to have this green one, it's not on actual speed. So If you want to see it on the actual speed, just let it finish until the duration that you want. Have it all filled with this green bar, and then just hit again. So now you already have the actual speed of the animation. Okay, something like that. And to add the velocity, we usually have this one. So select everything, select every keyframe, and then hit F9 on your keyboard until each change to become something like this. And the animation for this one is they have like an easing, like there is a velocity on the end and at the end and at start of the animation. It will look more natural for the animation. Okay, the next thing, after we already creating something like this, we want to make all the globe move from here to this side. So again, select everything in here. Now hit on Shift P for position. So we will add the position in here. Don't forget to hold down the Shift. And we will add the keyframe. So every keyframe will be put in here. And 2 seconds and 1 second, it will move to this side, around here, more or less. Again, you can change with F9, F9 to make it an easing. So we will have something like this right now. Okay, you can adjust the animation or the timing. Maybe if you want to have some overlapping like this. Sometimes this overlapping can resulting in a good way, a good animation. So just play around with the timing in here. Okay. So right now we already have like this one. The next thing we want to animate is the layer 1 and layer 2, like this. Okay, so maybe I have to, as you can see in the, I think it goes, the globe, the world map, have to move a little bit on the left. So to move it, so if you want to add something like this, just make sure you on the same keyframe, because if you don't on the same keyframe, for example like this one, and you create that one, you will create another keyframe. So it will make like an odd animation because you're adding a new keyframe. So to make sure that you are on the same keyframe, just when you change this time indicator, hold down the Shift. So it will lock to the nearest keyframe. So for example, like this one. And then we can add something like this. Okay, so right now we want to adding the animation in here for this one. So the animation is for this one is creating using the mask. As you can see, it just for the sustainable development, it just moved from the top to the bottom. But while maintaining, it will be hidden outside of the mask, and the goals is from the bottom to the top position. So to make that one, the first thing that you want to do is creating the mask first. So we will create the mask for the sustainable development first. So we will create the mesh using the rectangle tool. The first thing that you want to do is creating the one that cover up the sustainable development like this. Again, the color doesn't matter because when we use this one as a mesh, it will stay hidden. It will just use the rectangle or the shape of this one to be as the mask. Okay, so right now we want to put this shape layer 3 on top of the sustainable development layer, that is the layer 1. So we will rearrange this one to be on top of the layer 3. Sorry, the layer 1. You can collapse this one because we don't need it. And then on the track map for the layer 1 in here, click on the alphabet shape layer 3. So it will use the shape layer 3 as the mesh. That is right now. That is the same thing that we will do with the layer 2. But again, before you creating the rectangle tool, unselect everything from here. You can unselect by clicking on the blank space in here, so you don't select anything, and then click on the rectangle tool and create the rectangle somewhat around the goals like this, and then position the mesh on top of the layer that you want to be masked. That is this one, layer 2, alphabet shape layer 4. Okay, now it's already masked. Now we just animated the layer 2 and layer 1. Because it's already masked with the shape layer, so when we want to, for example, we want to start the animation from this one. So I will select the layer 1 and layer 2 all together with command, hold down or control in Windows, and then hit P. And then I will add the position in here, add keyframe position, and then move the keyframe position to become more or less in here. And then for the layer 1, for the starting keyframe, I will adding it on top of it in here, so it's not visible. Again, with the goals or the layer 2, I will positioning it on the bottom until it's invisible. And then you can F9 this one, hit F9 on the keyboard, so you will have F9. So you will have something like this. Okay, let's preview it first. Let's see if it already looking good or not. Okay, I think it's already decent. But I think this movement for this one, we can prolong it. Just play around with this one. Until you get your desired animation. Okay, I think it's already looking good. Now we will import the voiceover first, because we want to match up the voiceover and the and the animation of the text in here. So we will upload the voiceover. So to upload the voiceover, we will create the new folder first. I will name it VO. And then in here, I will show you the how to import the file directly using the drag and drop. So just open your viewer or your Finder or Explorer, Windows Explorer. Just click and drag it into the folder inside in here. It will be imported like that. And we want to put the number 1 MP3 or the scene 1 on the bottom of the layer in here. And it will be played when the Sustainable Development Goals logo already finished, and it will play the sound after that. And right now, we want to add the text in here. So to add the text, just go with this horizontal type tool, click on it, and click anywhere in here, and then open up your Illustrator. So this is the best thing when you're using the Illustrator and After Effects. Whatever settings that you go in the Illustrator, for example, like this one, you copy and paste it around in here. It will follow all the font type, the font size, the font weight, everything will be the same. So for example, for this one also, I will just use that one. And for this one, I will enter in here. Okay, so right now we already have this text and we want to animate this text. So to animate this text, actually we can use any animation that you want. Maybe if you want to, and put this one on top of the layer like this. Actually, you can add the animation. Yeah, for maybe if you want to use like the masking, you can use the masking method that we used for Sustainable Development Goals earlier. But right now, I want to show you using the Animation Composer. So if you don't open the Animation Composer 3 yet, just go to the window and click on the Animation Composer. Or in my situation, I will open up this one. While this one is selected, you can go to the starter preset in here. Open up the starter preset, and you will have like this one, this transition, the transition text layer, this one. And you can see the preview in here. Or you can open up again in here. You can animate characters, you can animate words for words, or animate it lines in lines. So for this one, I want to animate characters. You can open up again in here. This one is the one that I already used a lot. This is the scale characters, or you can just select in here and you can see the preview. I'm using the scale character. While this one is selected, I will click in. This means I will put this animation. You can select from end or from start. I will select from start, so it will animate the character from start, and I will click in. So it will be on refill in of this character, of this text. Click in. Now you will have this handler. You can collapse this one. You don't need it again. This handler is to determine the speed of the animation. So again, this layer, I want to have it start after this one. After the SDG or the Sustainable Development Goals logo is already open, already refilled right now. After that, it will have the animation of the text. So this handler, you can change it from this one. The longer, it will make the animation longer. It will be finished until it reach this handler. If you want to make it shorter or faster refill, you just slide this one, maybe about 1 second. So it will have something like that. And then you will match this one with the one in here. Maybe we want to put it faster like this. And then the next thing that you want to do is we want to put an end for the preview in here. So if you don't have put an end, it will be previewed within this 30 seconds. But in this scene, we just use more or less in this second. So to put the end for the preview, just select the end time of this one, maybe in 8 seconds, and hit N nano in your keyboard. And it will play it from this one to this one only. So let's try, hit the space to preview it.
SDG implementation. The localization way to Myanmar sustainable development.
As you can see, the speed of this one is very fast. So I will make this one a bit longer and try to preview it again.
SDG implementation. The localization way to Myanmar sustainable development. SDG implementation. The localization way to Myanmar sustainable development.
Okay, that's it for the scene one. So we will have save some time to animate the text using the animation composer. Later on, maybe I will show you guys how to animate the things with the animation composer for the motion preset. But this motion preset is the one that I already buy, so it's open everything. And the starter preset for the text layer is the free one. So if you're using this one, you will for the starter preset, you will have some for the free one, you will have something like this one. You can have like the bounce one or something like that. Maybe we will use it for the icon animation tomorrow in the next scene. So yeah, because it's already at 12, so we will have it finished in this scene 1. We will continue the scene 2 until 7 in tomorrow. Or if you want to, don't forget to save this file first. So just file, save, and save it on the same folder as before. In my case, in the workshop file, I will name it this one workshop, maybe, but you can name it anything and save it in there. Or if you want to go around this project file, you can go to the After Effects project file folder. The scene 1 is just the starting point, but if you want to see the finished product or the finished scene 1, you go to the scene 2 folder and then download everything in here and then just open the scene 2 AEP. So the scene 2 is already prepared and scene 1 is already finished animated. Okay, I think that's all for today. I give the floor back again to Mr. Eka.
Thank you, Dharma, for the sharing. Personally, today's sharing is interesting for me. However, yeah, today it is very challenging due to the internet connection.
Yeah.
I hope tomorrow we will have a better internet connection, so we can follow all the step by step with the explanation as well. So at this time, we can close the session for today. Thank you, Dharma. Thank you, all college. See you tomorrow again at the same time. Bye.
Okay. Goodbye. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Ma.
Thank you, Bu.
Novia,
Halo Pak,
bisa di ini aja, end?
di end ya? Oke, thank you.
Ya, oke, terima kasih.
Thank you, Novia.